Good morning, Raider Nation. How you doing? This is Coach Gravy in the house for my morning holla at Coach Gravy. That's what I think I'm gonna call it. Morning holler with Coach Gravy. Little coffee, a little bit. I'm 10 o'clock. I'm 10:03. A little bit late. Gotta wait for this stuff to brew. First cup of the day. I don't drink it in the morning because counter mess up my medication a little bit. But after about a couple of hours, I take it at like 6 in the morning. And after a couple of hours, coffee is good for me around 10, 11, or whatever. So that's when I take my first cup. But thank you, everybody, for being here with me this morning. I had a show last night with my boy Gabe. Touched on some good subjects. And what I want to talk about today's show is like the reaction to that, if you did hear it. And I sent the link out to my boys. I may, depending on how I feel and how things are going on, that I might put the link out in the chat and see if anybody wants to join me. I don't want to be specific and tell people, hey man, Gravy don't want to have me on there and things like that. It's not like that, man. I just want to prove. I want to get my point across as much as I can, except for asking questions. I love people on my show. I love people on the show, and then I send it out to my guys, and then they go out there and we do a good job with each other, and then it comes out real great. I think me and Gabe had a great show yesterday, and the interaction between the chat was real. You got a lot of info out there. You got a lot of different opinions, and what I wanted to really focus on, what type of situations are we gonna do? You know, you look at what we did in free agency, and everybody knows that I wasn't happy with that, and I think a lot of us are. We've adjusted ourselves to, oh, it's okay. Oh, we're gonna manage, and the coaching staff is this and that. Yes, that's gonna matter. I think the coaching staff is very important, and it's gonna make a difference. We're gonna see a big difference with that. And when we get down to coaching, we're gonna focus on that. I think I might do that at a later time, or I'll talk about it right now if it pops up or if I feel like it. But I'm like a situation guy. Like whatever is on my mind at that point, then I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna talk about it. So with everybody that's in here, if you want to interact with me, ask me a question or what I think, or if you have a contradicting factor about it, and you guys want to make your comment known and say that I'm crazy and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, be free, man. I don't take nothing personal. I don't get mad at anybody, but I'm gonna question you. But don't think that I'm gonna not like you, or I ain't gonna kick nobody out. At least get disrespected toward me and my buddies and talk about you know, we're at the age where we know what respect is, and I know what a troll is. So if you're doing that, you know, just go to another channel and bother them because we're talking Raiders here, and that's important to me. So, and I'm sure my viewers in the chat and all that want to talk about shit like this. So, what's first, man? First is gonna be the chat. Well, first of all, this show is gonna be powered from up top by Raider Nation Live. That's me. That's my boy Raider Gabe. Raider Gabe 420. Get at him with his good ass show, and extending my thing. Oh, there I go. And then we have What Up Low. He's in there. I gotta see. There we go. We got it up there, man. So that you guys can hit us up. We got that show going on, Raider Nation Live. We're on Wednesdays and Sundays for right now, but we're gonna pump it up a little bit as soon as it gets going. And I know you guys enjoy the show. We have a lot of views. We have a lot of people that interact with us, and I think that's special. And we're gonna keep it going. We want to get this platform going again. Get super hype about it. So you guys join us, man. If you haven't subbed, sub to Raider Nation Live, Coach Gravy, Raider Gabe 420, and What Up Low, man. Low got different stuff. He got a DJ channel, I think. He got a different channel. He's doing all kinds of stuff. So get with him with that. And Gabe's gonna bring back his day show with a power hour, weed hour, or something like that. You guys like the smoke, and Gabe's gonna give it to you. So we're gonna check it out. And we're gonna see what's going on with the chat. All my peoples that are in here this morning. Raider Paul, what's up, man? Raiders, bro. I gotta get a thing like Loom guys, bro, to do that real cool. Like, you know, I gotta get that little. I was looking into it, but I'll just say it, man. We go Raiders, and then Edgar Sosa, man. What's up, Robert Pena? What's going on, bro? My opinion always in there, man. He had some great shit yesterday, man. Great shit yesterday. Hot stick stepper, man. What's up? Triple salute back to you, man. Billy Davis, what's up, man? Young DB 94, what's up? And the queen of the nation, Raider Dev, what's going on? How you doing, sweetie, this morning? Thank you for being here with me. Rosetown Native 707, what's up, man? Good, thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, what's first? Me and Gabe was on the show last night, and we were really, really, really hard, and you guys might know this. I'm going to say what's up to the chat as you guys come in because we only had a little bit, but I'm gonna be all right. I got 20 up in here, so we're doing good. Hey, I don't get mad at your opinion. Yeah, I'm not getting mad at some of the things you say, but never you. I don't get mad at people. Some people say dumb shit, but you don't say dumb shit. You just opinionated, and I appreciate that. So am I, bro. I'm the most opinionated person you'll ever know. If you ever meet me, I'm a question a lot. Say, man, what about this? What about that? But I never get mad. I'm done with that. I've been around for a while, and I've been pissed off, and I realized that it's over bullshit. And now this game and this what we talk about in this platform is not worth. You know, you could like drive me crazy and say, what the hell you saying? But you know, it's not nothing personal. I love everybody that's in here with me. So low key, Spy using the number 1 pick at trade bait, the number 6 pick at trade bait, talking about Genty to the media. Bro. To take the bait 4, to get to 4, to pick Genty at 4. You know what? I don't. I think people are seeing this guy, and then they're gonna be moving up for Genty, and I'm hearing a bunch. You know, I was listening to a show the other day, and this dude was saying all the wrong names and shit. He was saying Quentin, yours, and Gentry. I don't know who the fuck he was talking about. But then finally I realized, he was saying last names, and then the first names. Then he finally said the first name. I understood what he was talking about. He was even jacking up coaches. But Genty, I think people are going up to gonna move up to get this guy. What you got? In my opinion, the rest of the AFC West at 9.5 and 12.5 Lord God, what has happened to us? And we were predicted to be 6.5. I'm gonna get on my topic that I had before, but my opinion had a good one. Um, my opinion, I put 6.5 right here. Over and under, we improved the sixes like last year. I'm not happy with 6.5 wins, bro. I won't be happy with 7 wins. I want 9, 8. Why are we saying 6 wins is cool when? And I don't know. I didn't say you did. My opinion. Are we gonna be satisfied with 6 wins? 2 more wins with the so-called upgrades we got. You know, the so-called upgrades we got. What up, Tubby? How you doing? And I just don't understand what we're supposed to do right here when we're predicted. Vegas has us at 6.5. I seen that. You're right with that, but I want more than that. And that's why I am the way I am. That's why I'm so concerned about free agency. That's why I'm so concerned about. It looks like to me that everybody that was aggressive and saying we need to change, we need to do this, that, already adapted, already in April, already adapted to where, yeah, we're an 8-win team. That'll be great. That'll be this and that. I'm not saying 10 wins. I'm saying at least, get third, possibly be. We didn't win a game last year in our division. You think if we win 6 games, that 4 of those wins are going to be in our division? Nah, probably 1, and that's bad. Who we going to beat? Who are we going to beat in our division? What? Give me the numbers. Like how are we watching before our eyes that other teams in our division getting better? Are we saying the not the defending champ, but the 3-4 time champs are gonna be down? They upgraded their offensive line, and that's all they needed. They could get a receiver. It looks like they don't even really need a dominant receiver just to get to the Super Bowl. The motherfuckers lost 2 games last year. And we're saying they're sorry now? I don't know. I don't know that about that, people. I don't want to pump up them, but we need to win our division. We need to get better in our division. We need to at least split with every team. I'll be satisfied with the split. J-Dog, what's up, man? Thank you for being here. What's up, Tubby? Mandela Effect says it was Gentry, not Genty. Yeah, I was hearing that. Hell, you probably heard the same thing. Yeah. Jack Kenner, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. Tell me a little bit what you're thinking about, man. Don't go back to the old school. Let's stay right here, focus on this football nowadays. I ain't judging you, but I don't take it there. Milton got traded to Dallas for a 5th-round pick. Is that true? It's not April Fool's no more. I don't know why they would do that. A lot of people Milton was a hot subject. I kind of kept it under the thing because Milton just has preseason games, and I don't know what the fuck he was doing with that. But hey, maybe they could develop him. But let me get back. Let me get back to young DB4 3-3 split in the division. I'll be cool with that. In like an 8-9 win season, that'll be an upgrade to me. With these players that we got, that I'm kind of not satisfied. I was talking that Devin White, all right, it was all right. But we can't sit there and I posted Devin White better get ready because Devin White fell off the face of the earth, the last year, and there's a reason why he's getting paid $1 million. We can say, oh, it's a budget thing, but he's gonna play. We don't know that. And I'm hearing a lot of the excuses. Oh, he changed the scenery, this and that. Spytek, he ain't gonna play hard because Spytek's there. He can play hard because Tom Brady's not his teammate. You wrap around. They guide you. Those guys are gonna guide you in the direction. But as far as football is concerned, Spytek and Tom Brady ain't gonna be in there running telling this guy who to cover and who to hit, what hole to do, and what zone to cover, or who to spy on, and Ain't nobody gonna tell him that, but his teammates and his coaches. So he fell off that. You know, he fell off that, and there was concerns that it wasn't in the game. And you know how I feel about that. You know how I feel about people that ain't in the game or ain't got their for how people feel about football. If you ain't all in, especially in a pro level, if you're not in, then you're gonna get hurt or you're gonna get thrown out the league. One or the other, because you got to be focused all in. That was the Mayer type thing that we were talking about. Mayer wasn't all in football, so he stepped back. Because if we would have just not said nothing and concentrated on this problem that he had, it would have messed him up. He wouldn't have been. We would have been saying he sucks. Now we just left it as hey, he got some problems he need to take care of. And he deserves a chance to be on the field. He deserves a chance to get a couple more shots at it. And I don't think we should get rid of him. I was saying it last night. Getting excited for Sweet and Low, not even sugar. Yes, sir. We're really excited, and I understand the pump up. It's getting close. It's getting close to the draft, and we're gonna say, yeah, we got this, and we got that, and we got this. But really, can you confidently tell me that we did that? With the moves that we're making now, do we think Devin White is better than Spillane? I'll say it right from my boy Lowe, Spillane. Do we think that? Edgar Sosa, what's going on, man? Thank you for being here. James Furpo, how's it going? Billy Davis, always in effect. I'm going to judge our record for the season after the draft and see who we get first. I think that first pick, now let me tell you the first what you got. Obviously, you guys know is I think that we should get Jeanty because I think that if Jeanty is available at 6 and people want this guy, okay, I'm not saying that this guy is top, I want to say 4 players in the draft, and I don't understand why we have mock drafts. And that's the thing about having mock drafts. Right Nation Live has never done a mock draft this year yet. And there's a reason for that because we're picking and people remember that shit. You know what I mean? You got guys saying, "Oh, Jackson Dart, if he's there, I'm gonna pick him." Moving up to go get. That's insane. That's what we've been doing. You know, and what I want to tell you is that 6, the value for Jeanty is perfect. It's there because he's a top 5 player in the NFL draft. Player, period. You know, there's only a couple guys that are better than him. And offensively, the only ones that I would take him before Shador. And we're gonna say that it's the running backs don't get picked that high. We're just doing this old traditional shit that people say that we listen to, but please listen to me because it's gonna be in that position that we're gonna bitch about because we didn't pick up a guy or we picked up a guy in the 4th round and 3rd round. In the end, he ends up to be just like Zeus, or he ends up to be just like Madison. Madison didn't deserve the shit he got last year. I blame the team. I don't blame Madison. Zeus is Zeus. He's gonna stick around until his contract's over. He could probably bust something. But the only players that are better than Jeanty is Abdul Carter and Trevor. Those are the only ones that's better than him. He's 3rd on the board to me. Not T-Mac. T-Mac is he's gonna get picked 20 something. You know, we have receivers. We have guys that we could get later. That's a situation that we could get later. So if we're gonna say that we could trade down and get the value of that guy, top 5 player, and we're at 6, the value is there. You can't go no wrong picking Jeanty at 6. You can't, but you could go wrong. You know, I don't think very highly. I think Mason Graham. I was saying Mason Graham will be dominant. But then I seen how much this dude weighs. You know, you 295 pounds as a defensive tackle, you're going to get thrown around by these guys. unless he's a super strong guy. From what I looked in the combine, he got up 225 24 times when every other defensive tackle was in the 30s. I don't know if he was just playing around. I don't know what's up, but if we need to uh, move him around a little bit, get some weight, get him on a road program, get Deuce Gruden to pump his fucking belly up a little bit. But 295 pounds as a defensive tackle doesn't cut it for me. So that dropped him down a little bit. Do you trust young DB94? What's up, man? How you doing? Do you trust this line currently to block for Genty against the division of run defense team? A little bit. We need more work. I like the fact that we better. We're better. I think Kappa was a good move. I think that putting JPJ as center is going to be a good move. I talked about it yesterday. I think that we're gonna, if he takes that job and runs with it, which I think he can, because he's a smart kid, he's a good kid, and if he dominates that position and takes it over and runs the offensive line, you're only as good as what your center calls. So if your center makes those calls and he does them right and he knows what protections to be in and get put less on Geno as he can and sees things before this, I think that JPJ it could be a Pro Bowl guy in his second year. If he takes that position over, he could be one of the best centers in the league at his second year. That's how much I think about him. But it's so important that he does that. If you coach football and you want to, if you want to sit there and say, hey, if you're going to look at this guy and he has the potential, he played center his whole life, and then he could go into switch it to the NFL and make those decisions that he has to, then he's going to dominate that position, and he looks the part, and he plays that way. So if you got a center that's like that, people are going to absorb that. His offensive line is going to absorb that, and then our running game will instantly get better, and will instantly get better with Genty too. I see that all the time too, Jack Kenner. But when I was watching the what they call that, the combine, and the dude came in at 295. Now we could blow up 20 pounds real quick, but I don't know how recent that is. I've seen that 6'3", 320. He's not that. He's not. So you can look at the different mock. You're probably looking at the info part of the mock, or you could bio him. But if you look at the one for the combine, what he weighed in last month, that he weighed 295 pounds. And I don't know why you would be that weight as a defensive tackle. Maybe to move better, maybe to get you a little pick, but he was already known to be a top 10 pick. So I'm concerned with that. He's a little light in the ass, and if he has to gain weight, that's still a problem, because you got to be in the 300s or above, 320 or above, to be a solid, with that athleticism he has. He needs to be that guy, because he only has about 9 sacks his whole career at Michigan, and he's not a sack guy. He gets there. He'll get there, but he's just a dominant defensive tackle. And you got to look at those guys differently. Defensive tackles are more run stuffers. They're not expected to get sacks. So, you got a guy like Wilkins. I appreciate his run stuffing and getting that done more than I would him getting a sack, because a sack is like a privilege for a defensive tackle. And if they could take advantage of that, then yeah, you get a guy in there that could do that. But if you're a light guy, those tackles, and those matters what he plays. If he's not going to be a nose tackle at probably not even. If we could blow up to 320, and which I've heard he's done, but right now he's probably 295. He came into the combine like that, so he could blow. He's probably one of those guys that could blow up 20 pounds after a cheeseburger or something. But he was a sausage away from 300, and 300 is nowadays borderline maybe the outside guy, maybe a defensive tackle. He's not a nose. He ain't gonna play nose. I don't even think I've only seen, you know, Adam Butler maybe play nose, or Jenkins could play nose. He's a bigger dude, but those type guys, he's not one of those guys. Grant on the other side of him at Michigan, that's a big dude. He's 330 or something like that. That guy is a first round pick, maybe a second. That type guy right there. He's athletic. He's just as good as Mason Graham. Mason Graham got all the credit. But he's damn good too. You look at that guy, Grant. Kenna, check him out. I don't want to raid on your thing, but yes, it does say that he's 320, but he's not. My opinion, Hunter, in my question, is the best player to draft. Yes, he is. Him and Abdul Carter are real good. I question Abdul Carter because I like talking about the draft. I'm hip to these dudes now. I'm hip to the guys that we should get, that we should let go buyers. And me and Gabe were having a great scenario yesterday. The one with the New Orleans. I believe New Orleans is at 9. We could get a second and we could swap and get a second and third with them. That'll be great. And we could still probably get New Orleans will probably be wanting Shedeur. If Shedeur doesn't go early, I don't think Shedeur is going to go early. I hope but if there's a situation to where we have Jeanty and Shedeur there, and we know just right off the bat, and we know that Geno Smith is going to sign a long-term contract, like maybe 2 to 3 years. You guys still would want to draft Shedeur Sanders? And we have long-term. Now, that's the thing that I have a problem with is I'm hearing people, let's get Shedeur Sanders, and we got Geno, I'm more happier with Geno than getting Shedeur Sanders because Shedeur Sanders is not proven. And then, did anybody see the Colorado Pro Day? Has it came up yet? Has anybody seen any of this information? Did he run the 40? Is he throwing the deep ball? To me, he doesn't have a deep ball. He has mid-range. He can get a 20 yards, 25 yards. And that is considered a deep ball in the NFL. But we, as Raider fans, cherish the deep ball so much that we say these guys we say these quarterbacks that are in college that don't have good arms, and they sit there and say they do. Like Jackson Dart doesn't have a good deep ball. He's not accurate with it. But to me, show me a quarterback that was accurate throwing deep. It's hard to do. The receiver does the most work, judging it, running up under it, adjusting his speed. You could throw a good ball and it can land in the receiver's hands if you got that good rapport with him and you know what he's going to do. But being accurate, throwing deep that's hard. I haven't seen a quarterback. You haven't seen. You have to look at a coach that says, okay, 25 yards is a deep ball in the NFL. So if a quarterback, Aaron Rodgers or someone like that could throw a deep ball, 25 yards, that's deep to a coach. A 70-yard bomb, it's hard to be accurate with that. You just got to understand it. Try doing that. Try throwing the ball. If you could throw the ball 50 yards, try putting it at the right spot where they tell you to do it. And I bet you out of 10 times you'll miss 8 or 9, maybe 10. It's tough to do. And the best of them, the best of them probably won't even do that. John Studios, what's up, man? How you doing? Thank you for being here, bro. What's up, Yerp? How you doing, man? Edgar Sosa, how you doing, bro? Mason Graham Pro Day weight, 306 pounds. Graham combine weight. Mason Graham Pro Day weight was 306 pounds. Graham combine weight, 296. 10-pound difference between combine and pro day. That was about what, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? So he gained a bunch of pounds. Huh? 306 pounds is is light for a defensive tackle in the pros. Look at these guys. Ain't nobody 305 pounds, 306 pounds. The defensive ends are probably two something, and the defensive ends that are in college are light. They got to get on that program. It's different. It's different in the pros than it is in college. They focus on nutrition and all this that you still do in the pros, but like when I coached JUCO, it was nutrition to get your body to heal and to do things for your body to absorb, nutritious foods and things like that. These dudes want to get you. They carb the shit out of you, protein the shit out. You just eat meat and you gain as much fucking calories as you can to get big, but you're light on your feet still. The bigger you are, and you stay an athlete, they know how to do that shit. In college, you're 18, 19, years old, your body's still gonna grow. You got your muscle mass here, but some of these dudes come out 300 like Graham, man. That guy, that guy Grant from Michigan, the next dude, he's 330, 340 pounds, and he's I think he's a junior in college. He came out, or he might be a senior. But I like that guy. I like Grant. He got more he got more juice than Mason Graham is athletic. He pops out there. But check out Kenneth Grant, man. He's a good dude. I really think highly of him. Kenneth, look at him, man, if you can. AOC is not the future. We need to replace that. Yeah, we need to. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you, my opinion. That's very rarely that we do that, but just call me Jers, coach. Okay, not your. All right, Jers. What's up, bro? Thank you for being here, Jers. Might be different for everybody else, though. I might slip up a couple times. Just give me a little bit of leeway. My boy Tubby Lion said hi to you, man. Thank you, man. My moderator today. Jack Kenna has a question. See what's up with Jack. The Raiders have a need at free safety. I take Watts from Notre Dame. It's the second. If the second is available, best free safety coming out this year. Raiders don't have a pure free safety at this moment. So where's all this hype about Chin? Where's all this hype about Chin? He's a veteran, damn hard hitter. What makes this guy so different? I ain't gonna put a rookie back there. We haven't put our rookies that we got back there from the get. I'm not gonna put a rookie. They're good player. I ended the first type stuff, but young DB agrees with you though. You're a Notre Dame guy. That's why you like this guy. Yeah. Chin is a strong safety, so Palomino ain't gonna play what he does. Did we get a safety that's just a box guy? Did we get it? Are you misspelling again? Because you're saying both those guys are strong safeties there, Kenna. I think you messed up the F. Palomino is a free safety. A strong safety doesn't mean a run stuffer. Why do you have two safeties back there? Is to cover a half. That's what you have to do, Kenna. You have to cover a half. And then the free safety is exactly what it is. He roams the field. He roams his half. And then that's what we play. We play two safeties. So one of them is why have a slot? Why have a slot corner? What do we get Stokes for? To replace Jack Jones? That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna bitch about that. Unless Starks has this amazing, he can, and I hope he does. We gotta look and see what these guys play. It's a different safety, bro. The Chin is an epitome of a box safety, and that's what he does good. Okay, but he's a liability in coverage, and I've said that, and I got bitched about it, but I'm still gonna say it because it's gonna come up, and we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it. The reason why Moehrig, got paid so much is because of his potential and he hasn't popped. He got better every year. But to me, as a second round pick, a high second round pick, he should have been good from the get. It shouldn't take you 4 years to get where you're at, and it's not even at a Pro Bowl level. You know, a second pick, he was like right after the first round, and when we could pick him, right after. So either he was going to be a number one pick, he fouled to us, and he was a first safety pick. I don't know if him and Holland came out same time, but I think Holland was first. But if he wasn't the guy that we thought, but we loved him. He wasn't the guy that I thought he was going to be because I expected him to have damage. He played good his first year, then he fell off, and then he came back because Patrick Graham was there. He played better because Jack Jones is so instinctive, and in the way he plays corner, because he knew that he had to cover, have Jack Jones back, and that's what good safeties do. So we lost a good one, but he got paid. He got paid all pro level guy. Maybe he might be an all pro. Best of luck to him. I never had a problem with Morick. He just got overwhelmingly overpaid, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, we seen a Benjamin Morrison. That's the guy I like. Isn't he a Notre Dame guy? He should take a 37 corner from Notre Dame. I like Morrison as a corner. I think our safety situation is good. I don't know. I don't know why we have a safety problem. We could add more, but shit, we have Christopher Smith. We got this young best DB award winner from Air Force or something like that. Let's try him out. But I tell you what direction our team is going. Our team is going with bigger dudes, our bigger guys, long arm. That's the way football is getting right now. Is that those type of guys? Christopher Smith is a bigger guy, but that Trey guy he's a little dude. He's a little dude. Jack Jones got to stop giving these big plays away. He's just real instinctive. He's real. He takes risks. I like that in a corner though. We need to have that. But sometimes you get burnt, man. And I just hope that it's not. See, if you coach ball, you don't really get upset on big plays that happen. It's just that the dude does it repetitious all the time. You get 3 plays in a row where you get beat 25, 30 yards. Then, they start picking on you and they start knowing that you're frustrated and you can't recover from that. Good corners will recover from that. But the bad ones just keep it in their mind. Oh, here we go again. And then get them out. Get them out. I ain't got no love for that. I ain't got no love for crybabies. I ain't got no love for bitching. I ain't got no love for that. So I'm not an old school coach. I adapted to the times, but I'm telling you right now, if you start crying and bitching and feeling sorry for yourself when you're out there, you out. I'd rather get burnt every time than hear you bitching. Who's with me on that? And I don't hear Jack Jones bitching. So he just takes it because he knows what type guy he is. Here we go. My opinion again, I still think we should take 2 offensive line with the first 3 picks. I don't want to argue with you about that. I'm a running back coach, bro. And what the offensive line does for me is gonna make my guys better. So if I got a pussy ass offensive line, my running back ain't gonna do nothing, even though what he is. If he can do stuff by himself, then I'm gonna sit here and say, hey, look, then do what you have to do. Just I'm praying that you don't fumble, turn over the ball, or get stuck or get pissed off. Because like I always preach to you guys, that confidence in a running back is gonna be the factor in this. The confidence in our running back is going to be the factor of how our offensive line plays. If your offensive line is sitting there watching a running back gain 5, 6, 7, 8 yards a pop, that means you're doing a good job. And you never go away from that. You keep going and going and going. And then you're saying, I mean, we're dominating this team. Next thing you know, a quarter's over. You ran the ball 16, 17 times in one drive. That's great. I love that type game. Some people don't, but I do. I don't mind these little 10 or whatever games where we got the ball, we got the freaking ball for 40 minutes. I'm down for that. 30-minute offensive possession. I'm down for that. There, Nab man, what's up, man? How you doing? Trey Taylor, 6'1", 216, not small. He's smaller than all the rest of the guys we got, though. We know what we got, Nab man. I'm not contradicting what you're saying. That's good size. I said he's a little dude compared. What I should have said from the get is that he's a little dude compared to what we have. You know, I believe, you know, given an inch or two, you know, Ken has his reputation. We haven't even seen Trey Taylor. So I'm really not going to talk about him because the only thing he's done was work his mouth. That's it. I don't know if he was hurt. I don't know, but he didn't get in. He didn't play. And he was a best corner. That's what they said. He won that award as best corner. Then how come all these corners went ahead of him and he was 7th round, 6th round, something like that? Explain that to me. If he was the best corner nominated in college, why was he picked that late? Why did we pick him that late? Are we doing this deal shit? We the cheat? Yeah, he is cheat, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason why he got picked 6 because he's 6'1", 215. That's not safety. Look at the big dudes we got now. Look how big Polamalu is. Jack Jones is small, but he's a corner. He's not a safety. He's expected to cover receivers. Every receiver is not 6'5". Every receiver is not that. And Jack Jones can cover these guys. We're not real happy sometimes with Jack Jones, but Jack Jones, all in all, man, is that Jack Jones can cover these big receivers and he can take shit from them because he's an instinctive corner. You can't coach instincts. And then you can't coach instincts and you can't coach the want to go do that. It's hard to do. You just got it. And then Jack Jones has that. He proved it with pick sixes, you know, the reputation of that. If he can still do what he does, he's going to be the pick six king. He'd be, you know, there was a guy from Fresno that played in Dallas. He had that shit. He got, you know, a lot of balls thrown his way, but he took him down to the house. I want that, dude. That's Jack Jones right there. And he's a young player. He just wasn't given a chance. 5'11", 175 makes Jack. I think he's a little bit big. Maybe he's a little bit heavier than that, but 5'11" is cool for me. Maybe not for you know, for Pete, but he likes bigger guys with that. But Jack Jones is so instinctive. It's like you have to have him in there. You got to have a guy like that in there. But if you get a bigger guy that can cover it, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind saying Jack Jones could get lost. But you got to keep your guys that you have. We just can't get rid of everybody. And Stokes has not proven it. Stokes has underachieved. And then how do we feel? You know, Raider Nation is sitting here. Raider Nation can sit here and say, "Oh, we got, you know, we got Stokes, and he's gonna ball out now because he's a Raider." We got to give that some time and look at the dude and say, "Oh, a change of scenery that works." I'm all for that. But if you're gonna sit there and say, "Look, man, this guy's gonna be the bomb when he gets here," he underachieved where he was at, and he was on a good team, on a good defense, constantly making the playoffs. So we can't look at this guy and say he's going to be balling out. He has to ball out because he was a number one pick. He underachieved. So does he underachieve with us or still? Or are we just overhyping this guy? The overhypeness of these people that we got, is it adequate to the way they play? That's all I'm saying. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Do you guys think Polamalu can play well at free safety? I think he can. I think both them guys could play free safety, but Polamalu better. One of them has to do it. Kenna, one of them has to do it. What up to my boy New England Raider boosters. What's up, man? How you doing? I bet you it's cold down over there. Sorry, man. I haven't been out and about a little bit, but just working. They expect a lot from me at the school, so that's what I'm doing. And I got a lot of appointments right now. 4 months into a 4 months into a liver transplant is very important. I'll get back to football in a little bit, but it's very important. You got to do. There's a lot of things that they got to look at and check out. So I got to go and to San Francisco and see the doctors. But I'm blessed. I'm gonna stay blessed. There ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm good, and it's good to talk Raiders again. I was in transplant when Raiders were playing, and I woke up. I had my surgery on Friday. I woke up on a Sunday, and the first thing I said was, "Where's my daughters? Where's my wife?" And did the Raiders win? Because we were playing Miami that day. The Sunday I woke up, like really woke up. I was in and out, but really woke up in ICU that we win that game in Miami. And I don't think we did, and I was pissed off. I went back to sleep for about 2 more days. That fentanyl got me. I was like, just give me some more. Just give me some more of that fentanyl, and then we'll see what's going on. Anyways, I'm doing good. I'm gonna be out for a little bit as far as Red Nation Live is concerned, and my thing, but I'm gonna be good. I just need to, when you get a procedure like that, there's stuff that they do to you to make everything work, to make your body feel to accept this new thing that you have. And once you do good, I'm stable, I'm good, my liver's working good. They gradually get you back going to your regular self. And then that's all I need to do. So I'm going to be good. Thank you, everybody, for being concerned. Jers, yep, man. I agree. Gravy Jack has greatest. He's dominant at that. And then you can see that. You can see that. So um I just don't all the complaints with Jack Jones. I do it too. I do it too. So if we're gonna sit there and say, hey man, we're gonna hate on Jack Jones because what he does, and he's gonna get beat. It's gonna happen again this year, so expect it. But he's gonna get that one game winning pick six that's gonna make you forget about all that. And he has to step up his tackling game. Yes, he does. You know, and we got to see how JB's gonna come back. Our DB room, I'm concerned with that. Like, hey, if we do what everybody says, and I agree with it. And I agree with it. Me and Gabe was agreeing with it. I'm gonna really talk to Low about football, but if we're really gonna, and I hear a lot of other content creators getting into this vibe is, hey, you trade down, but I don't want to go like 13, 14, 15. You're not going to get the dominant player that you want. You might be able to get a Will Johnson or something like that, but he's not even. You might as well just move up and go get the best corner out there, and that's Hunter. And if he's going to be, if he's there, Travis Hunter is there when at 6. We don't get him, I'm gonna get pissed. Thank you, Jack, man. I appreciate that, man. Sorry about the little rant on my situation. Thank you, Tubby. Always, man. Always, bro. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. I'm not. I'm concerned about the DB room, but I'm not overly like, hey, we need to do something now. That's linebackers to me. Still, even with this last pickup, I'm not sold on Devin White. I like the pickup, but we have a problem there. And I don't know if a rookie, unless we get one of these rookies, I make an exception for that. I'll take an exception to this Campbell kid or this other guy, and then that's high up there. Those are impact players that we need. We look at situations to where, hey, I'll drop back down if this guy's there, but nah, get that guy now. There's nothing wrong with that. Xavier Watts just hanging around there at 37. If he's hanging around there at Xavier Watts, I'll get that corner, but we need a linebacker more. Like Downs, I'm Jason. I'm down with. I'm pretty cool with our DB room. You know, if JB comes back and DCAM comes back, I'm pretty happy with that. But because what I've said in the past is that DCAM got picked on a lot, bro. He got picked down. He got picked on a lot, and that's exactly what happened to JB his first year. Thank you, man. Thank you, Rosetown, man. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you very much. What's up, with my boy D Mogs? We're going to the Super Bowl. I like that. I like that. I like that energy, bro. Thank you. Hey, Arnie, salute, gravy, heartbeat of our readiness. Yes, I'll take that. I'll take that compliment, Arnie. If you want to be the heartbeat of the nation, I'll pump that up, bro. I'll get it going. Here we go. My opinion. I have done some watching on a liver since I found out about you guys. Oh, okay. That's great, man. The info's great. Being educated on that and seeing how you have to not poison yourself the way I did. There's different situations. If you guys know Angelo, he had the same thing, and he's many. He's I think he's like 30 months, 30 something months in recovery, and it takes that long to recover from this situation. We got to know how major of a surgery this was for me, and I was going in thinking, this is gonna be like ACL injury. I got man. I had so much shit hooked up to me that I don't want to show you a picture of it. I do have pictures of it, but it was just they put me on the brochure of the liver thing at the hospital. If you guys ever go to the hospital in San Francisco for a liver transplant, it's called Sutter Health. You're gonna see me out there at a pamphlet that shows me after the new updated version of their liver transplant recovery after effect brochure. They asked me about it. I said, yeah, I don't mind that. I guess I look better than some other people do because I was sick, but I wasn't like looking that bad. But I hope I look different now. That pass breakup versus the Raisin saved the game by Jack Jones. Yeah, he's a game wrecker, bro. He does that, but he gives up a lot of stuff too. JD facts about what's up earlier. The reason we talking about safeties. I like Watts. But in the first round, are you talking second, third round to get Watts? Is he gonna be there? I don't want to say, hey, all these Notre Dame guys are good, but there's better safeties out there. We got two good safeties. And the backups, if you're saying Watts is better than Palomar or Watts is better than Chin, then he's going to have to take it over. Because development, if you pick a guy like that in the third round, he needs to play. He's going to be, to me, Jack Kenner, I'm not a wait around type guy. If you are into football and you look at football differently, like the way I do, Jack Kenner, and I know you do. You know football, Jack. I've been around you. I've talked to you. I've been in several panels with you. So if you look at what a free safety is supposed to do, and when you pick a free safety high, like in the third round, he needs to play. These third round guys, he's going to develop and all that stuff. The only exception is a quarterback. A quarterback needs to develop. Every other player, fuck that. If you're in the pick in the top three, you got to play or make an dent on your playing time in football. You don't sit there and wait and develop. Why you pick a guy like that? Why you want to wait around? Because let me tell you what happened. What happened to us several times is that we developed this guy, and when it comes to our attention that he needs to get a contract, he bounces. Just like Morig did, just like Hobbs did. Those are guys we picked. We picked those guys. Did we? Are we saying that Spillane developed under us? Yes, he did. He got better. He was a backup at Pittsburgh. Backup. The dude got hurt. Homie went into play, shined a little bit. We picked him up. Blossomed for the Raiders and Patrick Graham. We don't know how he's going to play over there. He's got a good defensive coach. He's a linebacker. Tradition, good defense. So he might flourish or he might just settle down. So that's the type. I don't want to sit and wait for 3-4 years for a guy and then him bounce on us just like these two guys did. Just like Morick did, just like Hobbs did. They did it for money. So now we're getting an overall picture of what these dudes. Ain't no love for the Raiders. Ain't no, I do it for the shield anymore with these players. We got to understand that. It's not once a Raider, always a Raider, because these guys will say, fuck the Raiders in a minute once they get more money. And I know every one of us will do the same thing. Every one of us would. You can't tell me not. And we can say the old guys, Tim Brown, all this, but didn't Tim Brown play for Tampa Bay? Didn't Jerry Rice play for Denver or something like that? And once a Raider, always fuck. That's different. That's different shit. Our best Hall of Fame wide receiver played for Tampa Bay and fucking Denver. I remember seeing fucking Tim Brown in a Denver uniform. Or was that Jerry Rice? I don't know. One of them. If we pass on Hunter, I like that Carter will lose my shit. Yeah. They'll be like going back to that draft. You know, you can't pass Hunter. He's either the best or the second best player out there. And Gentry's right, below one. You can't tell me that any of these other guys are better. He's the best running back in this draft. He's the third best college football player in this draft. And no one can convince me more. He did. Nobody has done what he did in college football. And to mind you guys even more is that the yards that he has after contact, it's like, you know, we thought Josh Jacobs was good at that. We thought Josh Jacobs was good after contact. This guy got 1,000 yards or 1,000 and something yards after contact. When he gets hit, he gets more yards. That's a first down machine, red zone machine. We put that with Bowers. We put that with Geno. We put that with Jacoby Myers. And then you can even throw Tucker in there. And we just get another receiver. We get, and I hate saying we just, but just look at that. And if your offensive line, which is stable in my book, we're stable, but we need more. We need depth. We need maybe a starter. But I expect Colton Miller to have a bomb-ass year. He's healthy. He was hurt last year. And no one can tell me that Miller, the last couple of games, last maybe 5 games of the season, he was dominant. He was one of the best linemen, best tackles in the AFC when he was playing. Ain't no one could tell me that Colton Miller wasn't playing good when it was a totally different player from the beginning until the last couple of games. Here we go, Arnie. Which position group is our weakest and our strength? I think our defensive line is our strength, and our weakness. Let me give you 2: running back and linebacker. That's what I think. And Nabman said it. Good job, Nabman. D-line, weakest running back room. My running back is there. So if we're saying that, Nabman, then why don't we go get Genty? If that's our weakest room, why don't we go get the best guy that's out there? And if you know what, it's not even really that close to me. If we look at these two guys, or we look at, you know, I was just saying, Omarion Hampton, the guys from Ohio State, Genty, and you've seen it. If you look at his pro day, and in his pro day, they're not showing highlights. They're showing the whole thing. And if you know how to look at a running back like I do, and you guys know football, just all you got to do is Google it. What is the foundation fundamentals of a running back? And it used to be, hey, give me a high knee guy, give me a Roger Craig type guy. I used to love Roger Craig running the football. That was so dope watching him with his high knees and stuff like that. But linebackers, DBs, and defensive linemen are totally different than when Roger Craig used to play football. Okay. Now what it is that if you high, you waste what do I want to say, motion. You waste, yardage. You gain yardage, but when you get hit, you're not stable enough to juke. Your feet are up. Your feet are in a high, motion, and you can't wiggle your way out of things. Now, the closer your feet are to the ground when you run, they took that from sprinters, from the get-offs of sprinting. Your velocity, your explosion that you have, you're always exploding with every step. That's why these guys run 4.1, 4.2 40s, is because you look at their feet, they're barely leaving the ground. They're barely leaving the ground. And with a running back, and what I try to teach my guys is to keep your feet wasted space that you're going to do. When you run with high knee, you're wasting a lot of space. You're taking less steps. You're gaining more yardage, but within little steps, you could do more inside, like move, avoid a defender, or you could, like, you're in a box and you can still shake somebody, and then that's what he's good at. He's great at that, and it's never been, some people have it that are in the NFL. Saquon has it, the good ones. The good ones have it, but you don't see no high knee guys anymore because they got it out of these running backs. And there's still some that have that natural motion, but they're taught to have their feet closer to the ground because your steps, you got more power and you got more velocity towards that. That's why he's so good at. That's why he's so good at when he gets hit and getting extra yards, is that he keeps going. His feet are always moving. If you're high kneeing somebody, yes, you can hit somebody in the head and knock them out, but you could get yourself hurt too. But if you could get out of there and juke, I'll take that more. No waste of space. You can't do that. You can't do that. What's up, Nad man? Again with the bomb questions. What's up, man? I don't like assumptions, but if you assume we can get Mozart of 2023, we don't need a running back like Jeanty. He can fill other needs first, like Samson in the third. I know you like Samson. You say it all the time, but if we're gonna sit there and say that Samson's a one-all be-all, then we're gonna have a problem with that, because I don't think that Samson. If we want another Mostert, and we want another, Zeus, he's not that bad, but that's the type of guy we're getting. Doesn't bang like that, but he's a good running back. And the third round, that's the type of guy you're going to get. And we can't be this, man. We can't be. I don't want you to settle just not being. Being we have enough room there's so much of them that we could get a guy in the fourth round. That's what we did with Zeus. Let's get in a Zeus. I shouldn't even call him that. What is it, Zamir? Let's get in a Sincere. Guys like that you hope are going to be good. And we're all satisfied and think that Sincere McCormick's a bomb because he got 300 yards in 4 games. And he's going to be the one-all be-all now. He's the top running back. Mozart's better than him. Right off the bat with his old ass. I'm not depending on Mostert. Mostert won't even be in the game. Mostert will be a spot back if we get Jeanty. The dude's going to make a difference. As far as I'm concerned, he's the best player that's going to be there if he is there. And then if he's not, who else a need that we need? You're going to come at me and saying, you can come at me and say, hey, look, we need a defensive tackle. We need depth. But Mason Graham, all these other guys, they're starters, bro. They should be starters. So are we gonna put them in front of Adam Butler? You know, we re-signed Adam Butler and had all this top priority over Adam Butler. You think Mason Graham could beat out Adam Butler? If he does, one-on-one, let's go. But Adam Butler is way bigger than that man, and he'll probably throw his ass around. There's good pass rushers out there. You can't get enough of those guys. But do we need them? Do we need them? Real talk. What's up, Coach? How you doing, man? Thank you for being here, bro. Thank you for being here. Hey, I've been here an hour. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking about throwing it in the chat, but I don't want a bunch of motherfuckers over here arguing with me. We can talk about it. We can talk about it. Raider Nation Jason, my dude. I got Coach and then Raider Nation Jason. Two top. Check out 805 with Real Talk Raider Nation with my boy Chris, Protect the Shield, and Severe Raider. Those guys real knowledgeable, got a great show. I checked it out the other day, watched that draft. It was dope. Raider Nation Jason with this draft, it was dope too, man. Two good shows you guys go watch besides mine, and then watch some good game. You know, well they don't hold back. Some of them they argue with each other. It's just like us. It's just like me, Low, and Gay. You know, same thing. Not the same thing. They're good. You know, 805 got some football stuff in it. He's a coach. He's been there. He's done it. He sounds like he has coached football, and that's why I dig his show, man. So you can tell who coaches and who don't. You can say, hey, Coach Mike. You know, I didn't even name myself that. So that got given to me in a YouTube game, I guess. But hey, Spike Tip skipped 2 top coach pro days to see Jeanty. Plus, Boise State offensive line was average best. It was all him. Explosiveness and quickness is Jeanty. Only the epitome of a great running back. Dude. You can't lose that in the pros unless your offensive line sucks. Now, we all know Jeanty is going to go to a pretty bad team. But if we go to the Raiders, our offensive line isn't that bad. We didn't have good running backs. Our running backs weren't good. And that happens in football. You can have a great offensive line that'll open holes for you, but if your running back sucks, there's division. There's division on running backs in this draft. It's Jeanty, and then the rest right here. That's how big that gap is, if you want to call it a gap. But there's a big time gap. There's going to be rounds that's different. There's going to be rounds that's different. You're going to have a top 5 running back, and then you're going to have Hampton get picked in the 30s, or maybe the low 20s. So if you want to sit there and say, you know, I'd rather just wait for in the 4th, 3rd round to pick somebody, then you're gonna sit there, and that's the type of guy you're gonna get. Somebody calling me. But anyways, what was I talking about? I forgot. Oh yeah, here we go. Arnie, best explosive. That's good. Offensive line wasn't really that good, but they used the shit out of this guy, and he always produced. I like that. You're not on a team that, and I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this that the dude didn't play good people. It's a conference that he stayed in. The dude could have probably went to Alabama, could have did whatever. But that's why these running backs, do we really feel that, hey, Henderson's good, Judkins is good, Hampton is good. I don't know what Hampton's probably the one closest to Jeanty, but he's a different type back. He's a different type back than Jeanty, and he doesn't, the after getting hit is the thing that I'm more impressed with Jeanty, because that's how important it is. If you're a running game guy, that's how important that is. After contact yardage is very, very, very important. I'm glad it's a stat now that we have the information for that, because if you look at that, It's going to be different all over the place. We know that Ohio State had one of the best offensive lines in college football. Is that why Henderson and Judkins are number 2, 3, third round picks? That's probably why, because they won the national championship, and with those two guys, it wasn't just Will Howard and Mbuke, whatever that was. They have a little say in it, but I seen them two running backs running the shit out of the football, and Chip Kelly does that. It was Chip Kelly and those two running backs that won that freaking game. And they had good defense too. But I watched that and I seen those two guys run. They don't run like Jeanty. They don't. Man, way behind in the chat. Matt Marinovich, what's up? We the people. What's going on? Alpha Kasi, what's up, bro? Jason Downs. Let's see. We the people taking a running back at 6 is blasphemy. Apakazi don't like it. Nah, he's just playing around. That's a good humor right there, bro. That's what somebody says, bro. Zamir and Sincere. They still gonna probably be on the team, but they're cheap, and that's what we like doing. And Jeanty, I just me predicting that Jeanty is going to be successful in football is out of the question. You never could know, but he's a damn good player, and nobody could doubt that. Nobody could say we're crazy for getting a guy. That no one could say that. Gravy, you're crazy for saying that we should get Jeanty. Then who? We're going to bolster up our defensive end room. We're going to bolster up our defensive line. We're going to bolster up our secondary. No, we need linebackers and we need second running back. That's what we need. And what do successful teams do? What do these playoff teams do? They all got good running backs. Make an exception for Kansas City because they got the best quarterback that's in the NFL. We don't have that. He doesn't need to have a running game. Pacheco and Hunt, yeah, the Hunt's the baller. Pacheco's playing what he was, a 6th-round pick. He ain't dominant. He had a good rookie season. He runs hard, but he didn't. The reason why they lost the Super Bowl because they don't have a running game. They just had a little bit of a running game. They probably would have been in the game, been in it, but they don't take pride in that. And their offensive line sucks. We the people, Jeanty and Judkins are the best. Tandem in my book. Who's the best coverage linebacker in the draft? Your most underrated QB in the later rounds. Who is my best coverage linebacker? What I'm hearing, I haven't done an extensive search. I'll be honest with you, Arnie. But Campbell, they're big guys. Those two top guys are big. There's a kid from Ohio State, that Swearinger guy. He could cover. I seen him cover in the national championship game, and it was, they had that game was really weird because they had two strong running teams, and the ball wasn't really thrown at. It was, Howard did good. I was disappointed in Notre Dame's running game, but they're playing against a swell defense. Honestly, those two, if they can cover, but it drops off after those. It drops off big. And it's not really a super strong linebacker, draft. You go to the 3rd, 4th round there. But if you want your guy, and we need a linebacker, we need a Mike linebacker. We need a guy like that because these guys ain't going to be able to do it. I'm not confident in Roberts. I'm not confident in Devin White being the road dog of our defense, being the green dot. We just assume that this guy, just because we have 10 plays of him hitting a guy hard behind the line of scrimmage. What about the other 400 and something plays that he did in 1 year? And if you think 400 plays is a lot in 1 year, you're tripping because it's not. Compared to Pauline's play. Pauline got thousands of plays in 1 year. Thousands. Starting linebacker, green dot's got thousands. You want to put the green dot on this guy and he has 500 plays just running situations? What do you get a team like Kansas City that doesn't have a running game And then he just throws on us all the time. Roberts ain't gonna be in there because he's gonna get tore up. Devin Whiteside is side guy, but I've never seen him be a best cover. And the quarterbacks, I like I like Quinn, the kid from Texas, that Quinn Ewers guy. I like him. I'm not a guy that guy from Alabama. I'm not him. I like the kid from Notre Dame too. But those two top guys. I'm not really a Jason Dart type guy. Everybody knows why I'm tripping on Jackson Dart is because, hey, what's up, Dart? Yeah, man, what's up? How you doing, bro? How's it going in Vegas? Raider Nation Dream Club. He has a little show too. You guys know Thor, man. He's been an OG in the Raider content game, man. He's been there forever. Seen the dude, met the dude in LA when we had a little party up there. It was cool, man. It was good. Nice guy, good guy. Has a good show. I don't know if he's with that other show, but we could check it out. We the people. Jackson Dart's the best QB in this draft. You tripping? You tripping? Kyle McCord can spin the ball too, bro. He can. He can. That's a development guy, though. That's a development guy. He had a good coach, good quarterback coach. I know the dude, and he's a guy that we could pick later that could sit. That's a guy you could sit, and then so is Jackson Dart. I don't know what it is about Jackson Dart that everybody he can't throw the D ball. His accuracy with the D ball. I said that before is crazy, but I give him credit because it's hard to be accurate with the ball. It's throwing deep. Now, I said it again at 20 yards, 20 to 25 yards is a deep ball in NFL. Everything else is intermediate. But if you throw the ball 50, 60 yards and, Justin Jefferson gets it, it's Justin Jefferson's athleticism and want to go get that ball. You just throw it up there. To me, that's just my view on it. You don't really, you can put the route in your playbook, but it's just more times out of not, when does the receiver really catch it? You know, you're right, Kenna, but is that all he can do? That's not the only thing that he can do, bro. If he got a good hit and the running back gets up, what the fuck did you do? And he gained 5 yards. What you just like hits? You can hear it, you can see it, but what if the dude gains 5 yards? That's something I would get pissed at if I was coaching. If I'm just watching it on TV, I go, oh, here we go. Dude can't do. If your safety is getting more tackles than anybody on your team, bro, you got a problem. Anybody would tell you that. Any coach would tell you that. You got a problem. If your safety is if he's involved in 100 tackles, that's cool. But if he's solo tackling 100 and something times, and the leading tackler on your team, unless he's a box safety, unless he always plays a box safety or he's in there on running situations, then you got a problem with your defense. As far as me, I'm concerned. Here we go. We the people. You have your quarterbacks confused. Jackson Dart has good accuracy throwing the deep ball. When did you see that? When did you see that? I watched Jackson Dart, bro. And he got 70-yard touchdowns because his receiver, that good receiver that's probably gonna be a first round pick, gets it at probably 20. And I'm talking these Raider Nation passes, bro. I'm not talking about the passes that I know that Jackson Dart can make at 25 yards. I know that. I'm thinking with the Raider Nation. Is Raider Nation, I've said this before. Bro. We the people, I've said it. And I said that 20 to 25 yards is a deep ball in the NFL. Considered deep. But the bomb that we're stuck in from the 70s and 80s, with James Jett going 70 yards and getting hit right there, getting a 70-yard bomb. That's the deep throw that the Raider Nation is talking about. And I was explained that by an OG that said, We need to get the deep ball. I'm not talking about this 20-yard shit. I'm talking about 60, 70 yards. They think Willie's out there. They think Tim Brown's out there. They think Jerry Rice is out there. They think all this shit's gonna happen, and quarterbacks don't have the arm for that because that's not the way football is now. College football is not throwing 60 to 70-yard bombs in their playbook. They have a receiver do a vert, and the quarterback do RPOs, and the cornerback gets distracted. They're managers of their man or zone, but locked up on a receiver, they're going to beat you because the receiver's faster. And then you get that. I've seen Jackson Dart do that and not be able to make it. You see what I'm saying? You see what I mean? You see what I mean? What's up, Licky? How you doing, bro? I can't explain that any more better than that. It's like the Raider Nation wants the 60 to 50-yard bomb, and Jackson Dart can't do that. Neither can Shedeur Sanders. The only one that can do that is probably Cam and the dude from Alabama. They got arms that could get 60. That could Justin Jefferson, boom, right there. That's the type of guy I'm talking about. Burrow does that with Chase. Wouldn't you like that? I would. We're so hyped up on Tucker, but when we got it to him, he was either underthrown or he's bobbling the ball, trying to get it, stopping his route. You don't want to stop your route. You want to get the guy with the arm that could do that. Derek Carr, give it to him. He was good at that. He was good at that. But whatever thought. How is Cam Ward better than Dart when it's exactly like Trey Lance? Full season being at QB. One full season being at QB. I've never said that Cam is just stuck at that number one shit. I'm not with this quarterback crew, bro. I'm not with it. Never said once that I was cool with Shedeur Sanders. I just was saying, hey, we're gonna pick him up if he's there at 6 because I just got to get up to the times and say, hey, man, we need a quarterback. We need a quarterback, and that's what's gonna happen, bro. I can't be, disillusional and say, we don't need to get Shedeur Sanders. We need a young quarterback, and we should get a quarterback every year until one pops. That's how desperate we are now. What's up, Nicky? How you doing, bro? Jackson Dart, you're a big time Jackson Dart fan. We the people. That's cool. He doesn't hold on to the ball. Yeah, good offensive line, but he knew where to throw the ball. With the people, he was told to where the ball is. What's up, my boy Christopher Raiders, man? New show, pump his show up a little bit. We'll say what's up to Christopher Raiders, man. Watch him, man. I don't know what time he comes on different times and stuff. So, hey, check his show out. Look at it. It's up to him, man. He needs it. Good dude. Good dude. Doing pretty good. Hey, what's up to the 50 in the house, man? They're kicking back on me over here. What did that man say? Facts. Man, that man got the info. I'm not with any QBs this year in the first round now with Geno signing Looney. We got him for a year now, man, and I'm cool with that. And if we're going to go to the extent, I'm concerned why he hasn't signed it, but he had time. And he had time to, we got time to sign this guy for an extension. And I'm not thinking that they're disagreeing on stuff. They just got to have it out. You got to have it out. What's up, Jay? My boy Jay Raider. What's up, man? We got a great show too, man. A lot of content creators are giving recognition to each other. Here we go. Gaby, do you have the trust in Geno Smith to be the next Rich Gannon with more weapons and a better offensive line? I don't know if we got more weapons. We had Timmy and we had Jerry Rice. And, we had running game. When we get that, I think Geno will be great. I think Geno sees what we can get and what happened, but he's out for the money, man. He's out for some money. All these guys are, and it's hard to say it. I don't think Geno Rich Gannon was a unique type guy. He was kind of before his time. He was doing this shit way before Lamar Jackson was. Rich Gannon was a mobile guy, but he was a backup, man. Decorated backup, backing up Joe Montana at Kansas City, man. Never got on the field. John Gruden seen the potential in this guy and took him. And look what he became. I'm real happy with Rich Gannon. I don't like what he did in the fucking Super Bowl, but I didn't like that. He got me pissed me off there. The only time I felt good about the dude, and he wasn't there. Leaky Gravy, help me out here. Do you believe this hype with Genty? Yes, I do, bro. I do. And why don't you? You tell me, why don't you, Leaky? Geno gives us a better chance to win now than a quarterback in the draft. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I believe that. We need all offense. I'll be okay with whoever we take as long as it's an offensive side of the ball and pray they work out. No medical miracles, please. Yes. Thor, I believe you do. I believe the same thing. We need offense. It looks like we're kind of shying away from that as far as free agency is concerned. I think all we got was Kappa and a tight end that didn't pan out in Carolina that was supposed to replace Greg Olsen, and they wanted him out of there because he did it. But if that's all we got Geno too. That was a bright spot. We got Mostert. Yes, bright spot. But we need way more than that. And we can start with the big boys up front. We got to get better at that. But we've been lacking with running back. Thor, I remember how high me and you were with Najee Harris, and I don't know why we didn't go after this guy, but a team in our division got him, and we're gonna feel that unless our defensive linebackers step up and get it. We're gonna feel Najee Harris for years and regret why we didn't get him. And I know you're a Najee guy because we talked about it maybe 2 years ago when he got drafted. 3 years ago when he got drafted, that Najee Harris is gonna come back. He's gonna ball. He balled. He got 1,000 yards every year he was in Pittsburgh. 1,000 yards every year, and we ain't had a back that did that, except for Jacobs, and we let him go. Where's Jack Kenner's take? Here we go with Jack Tenner. My thoughts on Geno. I think the contract is already done. I think the Raiders are keeping the NFL guessing for the draft. His contract will be announced after the draft. I think that too, Jack. I think it's done. It's just, he hasn't had a news conference. People tripping on that. But I don't know. I don't know about he's there. He's working out, and I really don't I don't think that if we're gonna sit there and say, hey, Geno, it's iffy, he may not play for us, he's gonna play. He's gonna get there. It'll get worked out because they don't have nowhere else to go. We're gonna be in the same situation next year. We can't do 1 year deals and then these guys play good. These guys get busy. See, we got a bunch of guys on 1 year deals, and then we're gonna be in the same situation where Telesco was in. We got 25 motherfuckers on 1 year contracts, and then you got to re-sign them again. And we think so highly of them. We fall in love with these dudes, and then boom, they're gone. And then we're saying, well, we got money. We got plenty of money. But where's the players at? Why we got all this money and we ain't signing nobody? Why we being cheap? We're not getting, these guys are risky. We're hoping they play better. They were unsuccessful on the teams they were playing with. So they let them go. You think they let them go? They didn't say, hey, Roberts, we want you back. We're going to give you this. They're not restricted free agents, but they could have said, hey, we'll give you this. Or it could be their decision to go play for the Raiders. But if you get more money, I'm pretty sure Roberts would have stayed in Pittsburgh. Better team. It's a better team in my book. They go, we the people. Cam Ward throws short passes for the most part, 7-yard average compared to Jackson Dart, who was making him 10 yards per pass, and Sanders' average was 7 yards as well. That doesn't mean the 3 more yards doesn't mean he's a better quarterback, though. We the people, you know, it doesn't mean that he's a better. He's not. You think Jackson Dart is better than Shedeur Sanders? It doesn't what the people think, bro. It doesn't mean hey, Jackson Dart could be a top. Somebody says he's the number one pick. Because the Raiders are number one, he would have picked them, which is insane because you're going to depend on Jackson Dart to learn the NFL game on the dot, and Jackson Dart isn't better than Bo Nix, in my view. We the people you love Jackson Dart. That's cool, bro. We'll see how Jackson Dart does without Lane Kiffin. Let's see if that works out. That's all I got to say. People might have their way with Lane Kiffin because he was a Raider coach. He was way, way over his head on that. Worse than AP was. Worse than AP. He was given an opportunity to work with Al Davis, and that was hard, man. That was hard to do. It was hard to work for Al Davis. From what I hear. So we heard what a bunch of coaches that said. It's hard to work for that guy. Expected so much. And some coaches ain't like that. Some coaches like it the way they run it. That's it. But when you got a guy that's a dictator and says, "You're gonna do it my way, I'll get rid of your ass." That's what he did. That's exactly what he did. But he's one of the best offensive minds in football. He has his own offense. And what his offense does is that he dictates where the football goes. He dictates his offense. That's his shit. And he don't want no weak ass quarterback messing it up. He's a very stubborn man. He looked that way when I was. He sounded that way when I was. When I went to a seminar when he was there. I've been to 2 or 3 seminars when Lane Kiffin was a speaker, and the last one I went on was he was at Mississippi State. The other one he was in Florida, and when I was younger, he was at USC. But it was the one in Florida. I was coaching JUCO, and then we were running the tight West Coast offense that was all shotgun. We didn't go under center, and I had a problem with that because I had to show my running backs how to. I was a running back coach there at Fresno City, and our running backs were bangers, but they weren't real perimeter guys. And then when they got outside, they could break it, but they weren't super fast. They were like 4 or 5 guys. That's fast, but not at that level. But it was a hard time to adjust to that with my guys, and I had to instill in him that Jackson Dart never goes under center, and you see the NFL, you got to go under center. So, and that's one thing I haven't brought up that I just noticed right now. I never seen Jackson Dart go under center many times. Maybe there's plays where he's under center, but Lane Kiffin don't go under center. He did at USC, but that was him and Sarkisian, going at it or whatever. But I know Pete Carroll Geno's gonna be under center. And I know damn fact that Chip Kelly's gonna be under center. So you have to adjust that. You have to do that. If you just stay back there and get shotgun passes and do stuff like that, it's easy. You got no drop. You just got time. Your quick game is tight. That's good. He's good at that. But if you want to say if he's accurate, he has to work on that a little bit. He needs to develop, bro. You're saying it to me that he needs to develop. So he's not a 6 guy. We the people. Do you think he pick that 6? Nah, he's not, bro. I don't think. Not in my book. But we could disagree, bro. We could disagree. It's fact. Jackson Dart played against top competition and won against top competition. Sanders and Ward didn't do any of that. Every game that I seen Cam Ward play, he brought Miami back to win the football game. and that means something. See, Jackson Dart didn't win, didn't go. Cam Ward didn't get. They didn't go to the championship. They didn't even make the tournament. I don't think Jackson Dart did. They went to the tournament, and I don't know if I don't know who he lost to, but I think that game he threw a couple. He had a couple turnovers. I remember watching it, but I'm not gonna look. Is Jackson Dart the number one pick, bro? Why isn't Jackson Dart being said, "Hey, top five pick to any of these teams that need quarterbacks"? Why isn't Jackson Dart in that mix? People can talk about it, like you, we the people, and another guy, and guys that are all in the same circle. And I don't know if you watched it, dude, but he probably convinced you that Jackson Dart is good. But Jackson Dart is a good quarterback. But is he top five player in his league? Those two are. But I don't want a quarterback, bro. I don't want a quarterback until later. And then I think some of these guys are just like Jackson Dart. I'm not gonna depend on a guy that gets told where to place the football and told the you might as well just say, hey, Lane Kiffin threw that football. Lane Kiffin made that decision. Lane Kiffin doesn't trust this guy underneath the center, and there's a reason for that because he makes bad decisions. He can't do that. So look at his whole tape and tell me how many times he had shotgun or how many times he's under the center. Because you have to play under the center. It's 50-50, maybe 60-40 now, shotgun to underneath the center. And it's very important that you know how to do both elite if you're going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And you can tell who's not, and you can tell who is. But I know Geno Smith could do both. Because Geno Smith had good running game. Maybe not the offensive line, but go through all the balls for Brady there. You're getting we the people, you're getting crazy. I'm telling you that Lane Kiffin is that type coach, bro. I'm telling you that's the way Lane Kiffin was in a seminar with me and told me that I don't let my quarterback make those decisions on who to throw the ball to. I tell him to. I do not let him make that decision. He said that. And if I had a tape or if I had something to show me, maybe I could look up and see what that seminar, maybe somebody was recording him or something. That I'll bring that out and I'll tell you. And it was, I don't know if Jackson Dart was there, but he said that. I never let my quarterback make the decisions. I tell him where to throw the football. It's kind of like what McDaniels does. McDaniels makes the guy open and you got to throw it there. And that's a fact, we the people. I can't string you that. He told me that enough. Hampton being better than Jeanty, Dart better than Sanders and Ward. It amazes me how people think they know more than the expert. It's weird too to me, Money Chuck, but hey, we the people down for Jackson Dart, and that's going to be the case of it. You know, he's not a bad quarterback. See, we the people, you talk about pro coach, dude. You're talking about pro coaches. The good quarterbacks don't do that. Okay? College, you're messing with immature people. You're messing with kids. They can't make those decisions. If you go to the pros, it's gonna make it harder. It's gonna be hard for him to take direction, maybe. He's a smart guy. I'm telling you what I'm seeing now. You could say all the good things about Jackson Dart you want. You could bore the hell out of me doing that. I'm not going to be convinced that he can make decisions by himself because I heard it. I heard his coach say it. So it's not that Bill throw for Brady. No, he didn't call the offense. Tom Brady's the best quarterback that ever played the game. He's not Jackson fucking Dart. Would you pick Jackson Dart at 6? Tell me, we the people right now. Would you do that? Are you just mad? Are you just mad that we won't draft a quarterback? Is it not Jackson Dart? Jackson Dart's probably going to go to a sorry ass team. Then how he's going to play? It'd be better if Jackson Dart goes in the 20s and the 30s to a better team and be a backup and learn how to be under center, learn how to make his own decisions, because it's a fact that I was told that. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to my audience here. Not. And you're talking about pro coaches, bro. I'm talking about college coach. Lane Kiffin is a college coach. He doesn't trust, or maybe he trusts his quarterback, but the decisions that Lane Kiffin would make is different than what Jackson Dart would. Jackson Dart don't know. John Gruden did too. He always yelled at Carr for throwing it away from design to play. Yes, you have to. And if a quarterback gets that, if a quarterback gets that, making the right decisions, like if you're on the same page, then yes, they give you freedom. You know what I mean? And I'm sure he probably had freedom. I'm sure he made a lot of those throws on his own. See, people are pumping him up, and I understand why you are. He's a good quarterback, bro. But he's way down more than the other two. The other two playmakers, bro. They I know Jackson Dart made plays, but and he has a great offensive mind. It's like Sam Donald with the head coach there, offensive mind. You know what I mean? It's like Purdy with Shanahan. With Shanahan, no matter how fucked up he is that Purdy wouldn't be shit without that philosophy. He'd be a seventh round pick, just like it is. But the people again, you know, how Jackson Dart had to make plays too, since he made plays, bro. He made plays, but if the Raiders get him, if it was the first round, bro, we had to drop down way. It was the first round way. He's gonna have to learn. If we get a quarterback in the sixth round, fuck Geno Smith. He's gonna have to play. If we get Shedeur Sanders, Cam, or Jackson Dart, these motherfuckers gonna have to play six. I'm not gonna sit here and wait at a number 10 pick. It might get Tyree Wilson again. That'll be the same shit. Waiting for a guy. What if he doesn't do shit, bro? What if he doesn't do nothing? Can't do that. At least Jante's gonna have an opportunity. I'm not just fuck up. That's the most important position in football, and we're saying that the third best quarterback prospect is a savior for our Raiders. We can't think like that. That's the way we always thought, we the people. That's the way we always thought. We the people all over the place, and Jackie Dart still called his own shots. What shit was it? You know, unless you're on the staff, bro, how you know that? You can make the plays because he knows that it'll work. We the people. I've done that, man. I've told my quarterback, get it to this guy, get it to that guy, get it to this guy. Don't see that. You got tags. You got tags. You got 3-4 plays at once, but he gets told where to throw the football, and he can make decisions on his own. But how do you know that? Are you on the staff? You hear from somebody? Tell me. You know, you're just seeing on TV. It looked like he made his own decision. I don't know, man. He has somebody in his ear too. It was funny to hear Spytek's 10-year-old son telling Mark Davis he doesn't pick Jeanty as you go to a bad job in the family. Yep, he wants Jeanty to. I think that was kind of a pump up, maybe. I don't know. That kind of made me think that we ain't gonna get the dude. That's saying that man. I mean, Jack. It kind of made me think that, hey, we ain't gonna get the guy. Geno still threw over 4,000 yards, 28 ranked O-line. Can make that argument. We the people know it. Yeah. Well, I don't think we the people are saying over Geno. You know, I think he at Dart to. I think that Dart will be there, you know, on the side and just wait. But we picked the dude at 6. If he's there in the second round, yeah, get the dude. I don't mind that. But I don't need to be arguing with we the people that Dart isn't this shit or that shit. I think he's overhyped, but he's a damn good football player. I don't like this quarterback class that's in the in the draft at all. Steelers at 21 are the only team mocked to pick Jackson Dart in the first round, only to have Mason Rudolph on the roster, losing Fields and Wilson. Rogers raided to Minnesota on Minnesota holding Pitt hostage. I think so too, but I was a big Aaron Rodgers guy to the Raiders, and I don't want to. I don't want to be upset about it. I never said Jackson Dart is better than Geno. I know you did it. I know you did it, bro. I'm saying he's the most ready quarterback, even though no quarterback is ready in this draft. He's the most ready in his coaching. From his coaches, yeah, I would think he's ready because if he's just gonna have to learn a lot. You know, he runs a pro. He was in the atmosphere of of a pro offense, but Lane Kiffin took that away from him because he wants to dictate his offense, bro. And there's nothing that you can tell me different because I've heard it, I've seen it, and it's obvious that and I said I can't tell you enough that he's a he's in a predicament to where he's gonna have to learn. He knows the pro game, the schemes of it, and it makes him ready to be in the pros. But the pro game isn't just straight up shotgun. No matter what team he goes to. But the Raiders ain't that because that Chip Kelly goes under center, bro. And he throws the ball deep. He throws it mid range. He throws it, and I'm sure that Jackson Dart could do that. But if Sincere McCormick, I mean if Sincere McCormick, what the fuck is he in my name for? If Shador Sanders is a better athlete to me, and he could move around, Jackson Dart can move around. They're kind of the same. Kind of the same. It's just the dude is Sanders and the guy is Dart. But he's the third quarterback in my book, bro. He's the third quarterback in my book, and that's good. Out of this sorry ass quarterback situation, that's good. I always view my fifth round picks as a hand of blackjack, ace, 10, dealer as face card, and I'm hitting the motherfucking minimum bet. Yep, that's the way to do it. Cam Ward only played one full season with Miami. Sanders always listened to what his dad said, and Jackson always listened to Lane Kiffin. Yep. And I'm not I'm not I don't know why, Cam is the number one quarterback in this draft, but I'm not really into the quarterbacks that much anymore because we got Geno. Geno's better all of them. But if you want to say, hey, Geno don't have a lot of wear and tear on him, man. He sat for 6 years or something like that. I'm good with that right now. We should be good. We should be good with Geno and not but we need to get a quarterback. We need to get a quarterback. I think his pocket presence is good. He always moves around. He don't stand there. He gets out of the way. That's the in and out factor, but you got to be able to move around. You can't sit there like AOC and just stand there. Jackson Dart moves around too. We the people again. I can also see Steelers looking into yours. Me too. I think out of all the quarterbacks, I think yours is pro ready. He needs to sit. All these guys need to sit. But we're picking at six. We pick these guys at six. We gotta understand that constantly and constantly made this mistake of getting somebody that we don't need or that fell to us. Brock Bowers didn't have the year he did. All of us were saying, "What the fuck are we getting the tight end for?" I know most of us did because I liked the pick of Brock Bowers, but I wasn't ready for it. But I always was on the cusp of looking. That Brock Bowers is still there. This dude supposed to be top 5 pick. You know, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for getting him. He had an amazing season. I ain't gonna talk shit on Brock Bowers. AOC 12 is better than most NFL prospects from the draft for a backup spot. I think AOC is better than any one of these quarterbacks. Steelers picking the 20s and they need a quarterback. Well, maybe that's where Jackson Dart will go, bro. They be up on that, we the people. Maybe that's it where he'll go. Some people are saying that Jackson Dart's a top 5 pick. Or they're gonna be happy just because he was picked in the first round because Pittsburgh needs a quarterback. And so it's gonna happen. But I guarantee you this: if Pittsburgh gets Aaron Rodgers, Jackson Dart ain't gonna go there. I'll tell you that right now. And everybody that's down from Pittsburgh below, they don't need a quarterback. That'll be a Jackson Dart for some backup role. But you could be all happy saying, "Oh, he got picked in the first round." It'll be a grip of content creators that love Dart that are gonna say, "He got picked in the first round. I told you he's a first round pick." Just like we heard from Bo Nix. There's not one person in here that was saying Bo Nix is a bad motherfucker. There was some that saying he's gonna get picked in the first round, but he got picked so high from a genius offensive coordinator, and that's the reason why Bo Nix had the year he did. Hey, my boy Christopher Raiders, man, thank you for the $5. Holla, man, Red Nation Live. We used to always overpay players for the name, not the play. I'm not with that, Chris. I'm not with that, dude. I'm not gonna sit here and say the shield is everything. The players matter. The players matter, bro. You know, Chris, I think I'm not contradicting on what you say, bro. I'm just, God damn, I'm so tired, Chris. I'm done with it. I don't know how old my audience is, and I know me and you were close to each other here, and I don't think that we're sitting here saying we're getting guys and we have a bunch of money and we're gonna be okay with these players. To me, I'm done with that. And there was a boatload of players that we could have got, man. I always have this. Why did we not get Najee Harris? It hurt us because he went to a team in our division, and then we got to stop the guy. And we think because we have Max signed and we got Coons and we got Adam Butler and we get Mason Graham that we're going to stop Najee Harris. And what I'm seeing is that they got a pretty good fucking offensive line over there. So it's just going to get worse for us. We couldn't stop them. We couldn't stop them from the beginning, the 2 games we played them. And so now they just got better with the guy. And we got to look at that. I want to win games in our division. We got to do that first, bro. I don't give a shit if we win 4 games again. As long as they're 4 in our division or 3 in our division, I'm cool with that. We split our division, each team. I'm good with that right now. I'm good with that because the quality that we got in free agency, I'm not with. And I'm not talking down on these dudes. Is that did we really, no matter how much they got paid, did we really replace Hobbs? Did we really replace Spillane? Do we think that Devin White, with this $1 million contract, and Roberts, do we think that his 500 play season, only on running situations, is better than Spillane that we could have kept? We should be upset why these guys are good. They got overpaid. Moore got way overpaid. Hobbs got overpaid, and the Diablo. Who gives a fuck about Diablo? But we can't sit here and say like, look, we're paying these guys cheap. They're gonna make do. Are we satisfied with make do? Yes, yes, we're gonna win games because we got Gino. We make better decisions than all these other guys. And what happened with Gino, Jack Kenner? Devin White, a monster, need Pete to keep him focused. He needs to be focused because he dropped fast. And I'm concerned about that. Two different players there, we the people. It's hard to judge them. There's two different players. But what I'm saying is that we can't sit here and say, Chris, you always remind me of this. Yeah, we paid that linebacker from the Rams all that money, but that's the past, bro. The different coaching staff, we're not making stupid decisions like that. It looks like it. It looks like we're not making dumb decisions like that because that guy had a great year. He had a great year. Littleton had a great year, but we didn't look at the fact that the reason why all those defensive guys up front, linebackers, they benefited from Aaron Donald. He was the best. He was the MVP of the league. Everybody benefited from Aaron Donald. Why don't we get a guy like that? If Aaron Donald was out there at his young age, not retired, but young Aaron Donald, and he was up for free agency, and we didn't pick him, I would be pissed. At least try. But you can't say we're making a better decision right now. You just got to stay mutual. You got to complain about it. Okay, the guy that we lost got paid $51 million, and the guy we got only makes 16. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that, Chris. Don't you see it? It's not because he's cheap and it's a prove it deal. You know, we get it. We get the guys that ball out on their prove it deals, and then the next thing you know, Christopher Raiders, Food Raiders, what's up, bro? And we pay these guys, and they bounce. They bounce. We gotta lock them in, bro. If they're good players, lock them in. We locked in Jeremy Chin for 2 years. Now these other guys got 1 year contracts. Is that confidence in you? Why do I have to wait for you to prove it to me? And if you don't, we're gonna be bad. We're gonna be bad. I don't these prove it deals. I don't dig because we got 1 year prove it deal. What if we don't prove it? We're gonna suck at that position there. Your thoughts on Quincy What's the second year with the expectations? My expectations are grip high. Want him to do something, not get hurt. Get hurt playing. Don't get hurt jumping around. Mark Davis mentioned how wide receiver is whole. We need to feel. We're drafting wide receiver with the first pick. I don't want to either, people, but it could happen. Eric Raider Haters Hunter. How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Salute, Nation Gravy. This sounds like what people were first saying about Spillane coming from Pittsburgh. It does. It does. Without that guy's a beast, and it's kind of the same situation, but where he wasn't a proven guy. He wasn't a proven guy in Pittsburgh. All you know that the Raider date. I remember this. I didn't know who Spillane was, but all I seen 300 freaking times a day was him hitting Henry, blowing him up. That's it. That's it. But he overachieved. He overachieved. He outdid his contract. And that's the type guys that we need to get. Maybe we have some. Maybe we have another. Maybe we have another from Pittsburgh. But I have the obligation to let you know that we need somebody better than Spillane. We can't just say, "Hey, we're gonna get it." Just like what George is saying right now. Roberts will have the same impact that Spillane had on this defense. I wouldn't trip on. Neither would I, bro, because that's what I want. But I want better than Spillane. You know, we replace Spillane with a guy that has less snaps, less coverage, less interceptions, and Spillane wasn't a cover guy linebacker, but the dude got more picks than any linebacker we had, and he's not considered a low grade on pass coverage, but he's over there getting picks. You know, Robertson didn't do that. Spillane overachieved his contract. That's why I would have paid Spillane. We need a guy like that for the Raiders, and it's hard. It's hard. We don't know what Spillane. Well, he got more money, but I would have paid that for that guy because he's the asset to our team. How would you sit there and I say, "Oh, we don't need a guy. We don't want to pay him." If we just would have did that, I would have said, "All right, man. Now we're going in the right direction." But the guy we got, it was just another Spillane at the when he started. You know, an unproven guy that just plays the run. That took the green dot. He took the green dot and took off with it. They let nobody run until he became a free agent. And we didn't take care of him. I have a problem with that. We don't. We just say, oh, we replaced him. No, we didn't. We didn't replace Spillane. He has to prove that. And that's why he got a 1-year contract, because he has to prove it. And if he does good, he's going to bounce. Unless we overpay him, which nobody wants to do anymore, all of a sudden, because we were so happy that we had $120 million. We're all, yeah, we got so much money, we get anybody we want. What happened to that? What happened to that shit? I'm going in the wrong direction here, don't I? Roberts will get beat out by Campbell at linebacker if we draft him. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. And then we're going to see how that prove-it deal will go, because Devin White is going to be in the game because he's side-to-side guy. And he's cheap. Yeah. And he's going to expect to be out there because he's done it before, bro. Roberts hadn't done shit. Devin White has been a Pro Bowler before. And you appreciate that. When you coach, when you do something, you look at the resume of people and you say, this guy's been there before. I'm going to try him out more than I would a guy that's up and coming. That's just the nature of football. You don't say, hey, young guy, get in there. Let me see what you got. In a game situation, you don't try shit out. In game situations, you got to ball out. You got to put your ballers out there. That's the way it is in the NFL. You're dudes that you're confident in, that to get shit done and to do shit right, you put out there. You don't just wait. Oh, I'm going to wait and see. And you know, or you've been sitting, Sincere McCormick been sitting for 3 years, and I'm going to see if he's going to pop, you know. But then look and realize that we played shitty-ass teams with backup quarterbacks, and he blew up. But he got hurt. Just like always. Just like always. You can put him in the cooler again for another 2 years, and then hope he does it again for 2 or 3 games when Mostert gets hurt or whatever. But if you got a dude like Janty that's young and can ball out more than fucking Sincere can ever did, I get a lot of people. Sincere McCormick, did you see his senior year at wherever he played at, Texas something, Antonio? He had a great year. We balling out. We got hurt. Balled out for us. What happened? Got hurt 3 years later. None of these running backs that are out there right now, the number one picks, Gibbs, Bijan, Henry, Saquon, fucking all these dudes, has never done what Ashton Jeanty has done. None of them. None of them. 30 touchdowns, bro. In a year. I don't give a fuck if he goes to Boise. I don't give a fuck if he's in Antarctica. You earn the fucking Mars University. You do that, you deserve some fucking credit. And so does your offensive line. And so does your team. Shit, they were in the national championship. They got blown out, but shit, homeboy had a 100-yard game against Penn State, I think. They shut him down. They're supposed to. It's Penn State. No one wants to play these Boise States during the season and shit like that because they'll get beat. Look at Oregon. Back then, a couple of years ago, no one wanted to play Fresno State. We had Pat Hill over there. No one wanted to play Fresno State because you might get beat. No one wants to play these guys. Boise State got a big reputation as far as college football goes, and you can't disrespect them. And especially their players. This dude had the opportunity to go anywhere he wanted to go. It ain't because he was stat packing. This dude would have did the same thing if he played for Alabama. He'd be the number one pick if he played for Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, USC, any of these fucking teams. I take back USC. They suck. But you can't tell me that this dude didn't do dope shit. And you can't say, oh, it's just one good season. That's it. Nah, this dude was balling his junior year too. And he could have split. He could have went that portal bounce. But nah, he stuck with this team. He knew, you know, that you have to that you got to get your game up and be at a better school. Jill Max, what's up, man? How you doing? Sally, what's up, man? You know, sign a 2-year extension. That's a fact. I haven't had my other TV on. I got like 3 TVs in my garage. I'm just looking at myself. I want to see if I'm coming out good and stuff. My glasses are all crooked and shit. I get the glasses. Make my hair look crooked. Well, that's great that Geno signed the extension. We were just talking about that. Look, it happened. Now we're more confident. What is it? What is it? Signed 2-year extension? That we will get a quarterback. So we got this year, so that's 3 years. That's 3 years. How much? How much was it, Jill? I mean, Sally, Jack Kenna. Look, tell me. You talking about it in the chat? Tell me what you got. Give me some numbers here, because I'm not hip to it. My phone been going off, but I ain't. I don't know. I'm trying to look right now. If you guys could just bear with me. You guys just bear with me right now. I don't see nothing about it. I don't see nothing about it. So you guys tell me, Geno signed a 2-year extension. Yeah, you go. George is saying, yeah. He also was a part of the Super Bowl team with New England. Roberts is not bad. I watched film on he can cover. He just wasn't asked to in Pittsburgh. But why? Why, Jers? Why wasn't he? What's the problem there? You're all around good linebacker. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. Here we go. What's up, Raider Goon, my dude? What's up, man? Can't wait to see you, homeboy. I hope I do, man. I hope we get down to Bakersfield, man. We got big things going on in Bakersfield. I'll tell you guys in just a little bit. Joel Lee, 85 mil, 66.5 guarantee. I love that shit. I love it. Now I'm confident. What's up with that? What do you guys think about that? I love that. Joel Lee and George, you guys told me at the same time, man. Good info, man. Good info. I really feel that. SoCal Sal, what's up, my boy? My boy All Eyes is in the mix. What's up, All Eyes? What do you say, bro? Where you at? 42 mil. Oh, I'm hearing 60 something. 43 mil, 2-year deal, 66.5 guarantee. I see what's his name said 82. 85 mil, gravy. And so did Joel Lee. All Eyes. Oh, you're just saying you probably said it wrong. You probably just missed a number. My bad, bro. So what do we think, man? What are we thinking here? Most teams built like they are one and done. I don't think we are. I'm feeling really good about this, Geno. Now, what do we think? What do we think about now about with our quarterback situation now? Is it Janty? Or do we get a quarterback at 6? We still do that with 3 years. We got this year. The extension is for the next year and the year after that. So he's going to play on this 31 million. And so what does that pertain each year? That's 42 and a half, right? He has a 3-year option, so we can get this dude for 4 years. It's not guaranteed, though. He's going to want more money. It matters how he plays, man. You got the 2 years. We got him for 3 years. So there it is. Good contract for him. Great. We were taking 50, 45. Not even that. Great pickup. Finally, a breath of fresh air for us. Finally. So now we could get closer to just like what my Raider Food Chris homie said, is that Genty is closer. What's up, my boy Jay? What's up, my boy Jay? I gotta see what guarantee is split into 1 year, 1 and 2. Think we are getting Shadir Steele or Dark in the seconds. If you read the moves and getting Chip Kelly and Pete said the other day, that sounds like a QB. Now, bro, with 3 years, this dude ain't gonna beat out Geno. So any of them dudes are gonna beat out Geno. And the way out of his contract is after the second year option. So we keep for 3 years, you're gonna sit. So you're gonna pick a guy in the second round, have him sit for 3 years. He's not gonna be there. You don't got 2 years, but that's after this extension. He's gonna play on this 1 year. It's an extension. But what I'm thinking, nah, Will Howard's out of my deal, bro. Just because he has there's better quarterbacks out there. Well, how did he get an extension? What happened to 31 million? He's under contract with the Seattle shit. Just like with Max Crosby, he signed an extension, so he's playing on his 2 years left in his contract, and then it kicks in after that. I'm thinking. It just doesn't. That other contract just don't go away. He still has to get paid. Redoing his contract. What they doing? My bad. The third year is most likely a player's option more than a team option. What's the third year though? Pete, I think Pete Pete had to do with this that more years. Maybe we are not drafting QB into the third day, fourth and fifth round. Agree or disagree? I hope, I hope, bro. There's way more needs now. We sold up this need. I think we sold up this need, but he has to play good, man. You have to put good people around him. He just can't do it by himself. Geno Smith is not that dude where Geno Smith is not that dude to where he can take over this team and boom. I hope he does, man, because I'm excited about it now. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Ready to go to 33.5 a year, no, within 66.5 guaranteed. That's way less. That's way less than what we expected, though, Goon. I'm happy about that. These dudes are making some tripped out negotiations. Maybe he said, "Hey, I'm gonna give you the 3 years. You can pay you the." It's just so much money that why can't you just be cool with that 33 million? You know, we get 2 million more than what he got in Seattle because we didn't hire Pete to tank again. It might be the last time the Raiders drop a top 10. And wow, that's the way to talk with the people. That's why I love it. That's good. How much was it per year? I think going up there, you go up. I think it's with the. I think Gold said 33.5, pretty much, and shoot, that's good. I'll take that. I'll take that, man. Better go. Looks like the first year is 31 million. Still blurry. You still got more info to come, but it's gonna be in the 30 something. Man, this dude was protected. They were saying 50. We're all wrong, bro. We're wrong. We're gonna be wrong with the draft. We can just say what we want, but we're gonna be wrong, wrong, wrong. But that's a great thing, man. We gotta be happy that we got our quarterback signed up. Better Goon said 33.5 a year. And that's great, bro. That's great for a starting quarterback. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But it's getting close to my out time, people. You know, I hope you enjoyed this podcast, man. We got a bunch of information. on live with Geno Smith, got an extension. That's great, man. That's great. I hate to bounce with 50, 55 people in here, man, chopping it up with me, but I got to get back to work. Got to go back to the school and finish out my day. But hey, tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, be with me. It's going to be up there again. I'll put it in early so you guys can really focus. But just expect that to be with Coach Gravy again. And we can talk about this at length. We can talk about this at length. As soon as we get more information, we can talk about it at length and see what how long is he going to be here for. And then this changes our draft. You know, what we gonna think? We can have all the hypotheses we want to do now. We could just go out there and say, "Hey, let's get this guy. Let's get this guy," because we know we got. You know, my boy Jay was saying, "Hey, just 2 years," but they just ripped that other contract out. We got 2 more million. Then I'm cool with that. Then it's just 2 year contract. Then we get a quarterback. He can sit wait. We do that. Maybe AOC can develop by beyond God or whatever. Okay, but maybe God will help him out. Genty is our number one priority. 6 pick and less. Hunter falls to 6. Yes, sir. I think Genty's the one. We really want to have it out with the Giants. Giants will draft Genty. I see that, bro. I see that. Yeah, I got the Geno extension, man. We was live when we see that. That was great, man. I feel good about that. It's all right. Do it. Hey, thank you, Jers, man. Yeah, man, next time, bro. I'll send you a link, and maybe we can chop it up. That get to introduce yourself and see how deep you can get into this game, bro. And if not, today I said I was gonna put it in the chat, and I did it. But you feel comfortable? Let me know. I may do it for the Friday show, man. Friday, Freestyle Friday, man. Get in there and get all your guys' input. We can argue a little bit, see what no man. Peace out, Raider Nation. Jill Max is saying peace out to all y'all, and so am I because my work is gonna be calling me pretty soon. My boy All Eyes in the mix. I'm just happy they didn't overpay. They didn't. You know what? And it's becoming a trend that these guys are doing. It's just the players, getting a guy Geno like that, well, a prospect like Geno. He's not a prospect anymore. He's a decorated NFL quarterback that's been to the Pro Bowl, and I think it's good. It's joyful to see that we can say all we want. We can say all we want now. What we need, what we want to get. Now we have the freedom to say, hey, quarterback's not a real priority. Unless the dude gets hurt. And then the dudes are making good deals. Well, yeah, they made a good deal with Geno, but I'm not gonna sit here and say we don't need another quarterback for our future. But we could kind of test that out, see who the best one is, or maybe wait till next year get in that flow. But it's good to have one now in the house that can develop on a chip and see what's going on. Rosetown native come up with the facts. Pick 37. Okay. Most likely tomorrow, I'll send it to you, brother. But I'm gonna get off right now. I want to thank the Raider Nation, man. You guys are a blessing. Thanks for hearing me out. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and have a wonderful evening. Thanks, guys. Go Raiders, man. Go Raiders.